Now, people have asked me about HIP. What am I doing with HIP? They see a lot of people leaving HIP. I will be canceling my HIP subscription. Now today with this video, I have a bunch of things to go over. First is I sold 21 postcards. 12 on eBay, 4 on Etsy, and 5 on HIP. That equals about $100 in 21 postcards. And then I sold this guy, my last G.I. Joe Cobra Commander. I've had these for over a year. I had like 12 or 16 of those, and they were the last ones to sell. They just didn't sell. I discounted them a little bit, and they finally went out the door, the last one. I have a special topic, Wacky Plak postcards. We'll go over those in the special topic and what are those. It's a neat thing to collect if you're into collecting. This is got a checklist and stuff I'll show you. Then I picked up a poll. Have you shipped the wrong postcard to a buyer? Yes, I've done that. So we'll go over that and see what the stats are. So the channel has met a milestone. I hit over 1,000 subscribers on the SMPostcards channel on YouTube. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you'll get notified when there's new videos, any updates in the community tabs, etc. And it supports the channel because YouTube sees that and it'll show it to more people. And the more people that watch, the more conversations we can have about postcards. And that's what this is all about. But I appreciate and thank everyone for helping get the channel to that level and going on to the next milestone. What is that? 1,200? 1,100? But thanks again. And then I got some viewer comments. I got about a few viewer comments I've pulled out and we'll discuss at the end of the video. And that's always my favorite part. But let's go through what's sold. Sales have been very sporadic. Some days a lot, some days a little. Some days a lot, some days a little. And I'm getting so many questions on, you know, they're not selling. What am I doing wrong and stuff like that. It's just the economy. It's just the way things are. There's no silver bullet to stop it there. You just gotta manage your expenses, manage your expectations, what's coming in. I do see a drop in the chart that I'm tracking. It has dropped dramatically from March and April down to right now. So there is like what they call summer slowdown, but it did drop. Sales have dropped, but then you get that one big order in a week. It makes up the difference. Try to get your average sale price back up. Sell some higher price things, lot them things up. Use the coupons, use the sales. Anything to generate a little bit of cash flow. You still got to have cash flow. To me, this is not the time that I'm going to try to get every last dollar out of everything. I need to make a certain amount of money every month to pay the bills. So I got money going out. I need to have the same money or more coming in to be fluent in the business, be financial stable. So if I'm seeing in the middle of the month that I'm not making even the bills because of the slowdown, that things that I don't have control of, then I'm going to throw a sale and cut the price a little bit. Even though I get my money back for what I paid, I can use that money to pay the bills. So far this month, my average sale price is up a little bit than what normal is. So even with the decreased amount of cards on there, but I always manage my expenses at a level lower than I'm selling, and I always put money away for slow times on there. And this is not a time that I'm going to go out and buy $3,000 worth of postcards. It's too unstable at the moment, the economy and stuff. So I'm being very careful on what I'm spending on buying things. I'm being careful on expenses, careful on trying new things and stuff. Have a lot of things in the works, but I kind of put them on hold for right now, and we'll see. But 21 cards was about $100 sales for the day. I'll take that. Now tomorrow could be 20. You never know. It's kind of sometimes out of your control. But let's go through what's sold on HIP. Now people have asked me about HIP. What am I doing with HIP? They see a lot of people leaving HIP. I will be canceling my HIP subscription in July. That's when I pay it by the year. It's just not doing what it did in the years before. Ever since the October eBay update and the sync broke and stuff, it's for the amount of time you got to manage it and go back anymore, and the sales I get on it, it's basically just breaking even or just a little bit over that. It's not like it was a year or two ago when it was, you know, I was doing pretty well on there. So I decided to move off of HIP and put my focus into eBay and Etsy and whatnot. And we'll talk a little bit about whatnot at the end of the video. That's not the savior thing either. In July I will be leaving HIP. It's just financially data-driven decision. Now if HIP fixes their sync and they do some other stuff to enhance their site, hey, I'd be back in a second. But I haven't seen anything change on that site or any communications from them or anything, and I just don't think they're growing that part of their business, and I feel at this point it's not in my best interest to stay there. But HIP is a niche platform, a micro niche I call it, so it just doesn't work for me. Some other people might stay on there and doing well, but I've decided to move off due to the data-driven reason, not emotional. I liked HIP. It's that the money's not there, and I'm in this to make money and keep the business growing. So the first had one order yesterday on HIP. Person bought 5 cards. First one is Night Scene of Niagara Falls. So Niagara Falls sold on there. Next one was John Brown, a portrait of John Brown. Just a chrome card, unposted, of John Brown. Remember, this is all one order. So this is the dining hall at some place in Pennsylvania, 1911. That's the dining hall. Divided back card, 1911. Then he went through and he picked out, I had to look at when I picked this order, it's like all over the board. My Valentine, these are in Bryce Canyon National Park. It's a heart-shaped rock formation. Divided back card, this is a linen card. So you know, we got John Brown, he's got that. How do you guess what people want? And then they picked up the mountain laurel, a flower. 1945 posted linen card. So 5 cards on HIP for about $20. And that's basically been it for this week alone in the last 4 or 5 days. And that's what I'm talking about. It's just too up and down for me. Now Etsy's kind of going on a downtrend lately too. Usually when things fall down, HIP is the first one, then Etsy, and then eBay takes a little hit. But eBay's always pretty well staying up there. That's the main focus of my business. But on Etsy, first card I sold is Chicago Bridge. This is going across Ontario, looking southwest, downtown. Its foreground is the open Ontario Street Bridge. Just a chrome card of the bridges. There's a whole bunch of bridges that go across the river from the Loop, the business district, be like Central City in Philadelphia. The Loop area runs, and Wacker Drive runs around there. And then to get across over to the north side, Ontario and stuff like that, they have these bridges. I think there's about 5 LaSalle, different ones, but they'll open them up for the boat traffic to go out to Lake Michigan. And that's a chrome card. I used to be a walker down in the Loop. I would walk around all the office buildings, the Sears Tower and all that stuff, Tribune Towers, and work repair phone systems and stuff. Undercliff of Lover's Leap, Lookout Mountain, Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's the underlook, not the undercliff. It's not the overcliff, it's the undercliff. And you can see somebody standing right there. So that's sold on Etsy. Next one is the 1,000-ton balanced rock, Lookout Mountain, Chattanooga, Tennessee. 1,000-ton. Just a chrome card, $4 to $5. And then the last one is the Lookout Mountain near Chattanooga. See 7 states. You're looking at 7 states there. What other channel can you see 7 states? That's what it is. Chrome card. So those were Etsy, and that was 4 cards. So that's about $20 as well. And I'll do a couple of these eBay what solds, and then I'll get into Wacky Plak postcards. The Mad Magazine cartoonist is who they hired to do that, and we'll get into that. Alright, so the first one that sold, this came from the private collection from album 2. If you've watched that series, there's 8 albums I bought for $1,200. Now, video 1 will explain a little bit more about the buy, and then I go through each of the cards and what I comped them for, and then I go through what I listed them for, and I'll have an update coming up soon on where I'm at with this collection, and people can follow me through to see if I made any money and what to do when they get to large collections and how I did it. But there's 8 albums that I do that with. Took a little considerable amount of time, but it was well worth it. This is Little Creek Amphibious Base, Norfolk, Virginia. Just came out of that private collection. Wasn't a ship or boat, naval boat that I have from that big haul I got. Next one, I think I've sold more of these cards in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks than I ever have. And this is the United States Fighter Weapons School. I'm wondering, the movie Top Gun just came out with Tom Cruise. I'm wondering if this has sparked it. This is right there at the training school, weapons school. And it's from that naval ship haul. You can see those videos there when I bought all these Navy ships that you're going to see that I sell all the time. I bought a carload of those on there, but I've sold more of these cards on there, and that sold $4.55, $5. Next one, I'm down to my last 2, I think, on this one. This is a control room in a submarine. USS Lane 297. I had about 150 of these, and I'm down to my last 2. So $4 to $5. A lot of ships today. This is a print. These are prints that they printed themselves. It's a continental size card, and it's really like paper. But this ship is bomb. It says demolition of the Hungman, December 24th, 1950. So of the Hungman, they're blowing up another ship. So this ship is a Bangor blowing up a ship. So that one sold $4 to $5. Next one is 3, and these are on harder cardstock than the other ones, but they're also the prints that they printed. And this is the Army Transport General Alexander W. Patch, and this gentleman bought 3 of these. I do a lot of that with the ships. People will buy not just one of them, they'll buy 10, they'll buy 12, they'll buy 20, they'll buy 5, and I can put all 3 of these in one envelope for 53 cents and a sleeve each, and mail them off with the eBay standard envelope. But with my price, I have my shipping figured in, so I make about $1, $1.50 when they buy more cards. But I also use eBay volume discount, and there's a video on that. So if they buy 10 cards, at the end when they check out, they get a 15% discount. Basically, it's my discount on the shipping that I would have had if I did each card. So I'm making out, but it's been I sell, that's my biggest promotional thing, is the volume discounts. But if you watch that video, it'll explain a little bit more on there. But it's a neat thing to get people to buy multiple cards. If they can buy more than 1 card from you, you can put up to 4 cards with a sleeve in these envelopes right here. These Echo Swift spins are the best envelope, and for under an ounce. And then you go to 2 ounces and 3 ounces. Even if you have to go first class, it's still cheaper, but you want people to buy more than 1 card. That's my goal, is to move cards, is what I want. The next one I sold is USS Idaho, BB-42. Another one of those prints. I sell the heck out of these things. They're just done so well. And I got a whole table full, thousands of them down there. This is a diorama or a painting or something. A diorama in the Milwaukee thing. This is the Battle of Winchester. Right there. These little museum type cards do pretty well. The people cherry pick them out of my thing. This is a beach, Nauset Beach, Cape Cod. I think this one went for about $5, $6 or $7. A little bit more. Some beaches, you want to look at your beaches. There's some beaches that are really good, and there's some that just aren't. I'm going to go ahead and finish up to what sold, and I only got a couple left. But this is the Loran County ship. Like I said, it's ship day today. One of those prints. These are unused, and that's an older boat, transport boat. $4 to $5. And then the last, what sold out of the 21 cards, Fairfield University Campus Center, Fairfield, Connecticut. universities, schools, education, boys' homes. Those are the types of things that pay the bills right there. So 21 cards, $100. Sold this guy about $20. So $120 total in sales. I don't live off of eBay or what I sell. I have other income. I'm retired and stuff. So $120 for me, that's fine. It pays for all my bills and whatever. I have a minimum amount I need to make every day or every week, every month, and it does that. But that's what's sold. Now let's get into Wacky Plak postcards. And you're sitting there, are these wacky packages? I had to take a look at them too. And when I was going through these, I got some in a lot. I'll show you these two cards here in a second. I found these in a lot of postcards, the box that I bought. And they were in older, dingy, they were packed in these things. In these real old vintage mailers. And they actually said 1958 on them. So I set them to the side. And it looks like smoky glass. I said, what are these things? And they must have been in there for years. So I put some to the side, and as I was researching, I said, I need to do a video on these as I go through and understand what Wacky Plak postcards are. So Wacky Plak postcards are a trading card type card with a postcard back. Remember what a postcard back is? Stamp box, place for the address, place for the message, and a title. That's the postcard back. That's what they mean by officially being a postcard, is like a photo on the front and a postcard back. Now this picture here, did people actually mail these little cards? Here's one with a stamp on it that I found. Back then they mail everything. But I got two cards from that lot in my collection, card number 20 and card number 21, right here. The first one is, with my brains and your looks, we're in real trouble. It's a cartoonish thing, but then you can look on the back and you got the stamp box, the address, message area, and it says from with the title on there and stuff, and it has the card number right at the top on there. And they're harder, they're really heavy cardstock. Not heavy, but a little bit, I think a little heavier than postcard stock. Then the next one is card 21. I never forget a face, but in your case, I'll make an exception. So that's that one, and the same back. So these two cards I got are just two of in the set here, and I'll go through the details as I show you some of the other cards. But when you go to get lots, you always find these little gems. Put them to the side because there might be something there. And we're going to check the prices to see if these are, worth the money, or is it just something to collect and something to do. But Wacky Plak postcards are approximately 2.5 inches by 4 5/8 inches in size. So a little bigger than a regular trading card, little not as high, not as long as a postcard, so it's kind of a weird size. They feature artwork by Jack Davis, a Mad magazine cartoonist. That's why if you looked at those pictures I just showed you, and the pictures coming up here, you can see, if you know anything about Mad magazines, there's probably, you can tell that's a cartoonist. Jack Davis, the Mad cartoonist, was hired by Topps in 1959 to create the set of Wacky Plaks. So that's key, 1959. He was hired to do the first original there. You'll see dates of 1958 or 1959. What I found, and I stuck with, is 1959. I saw that more on the documentation than 58. There are 88 Wacky Plak postcards in the 1959 set. In the video description, I have a link to a checklist on the internet of all the cards in that set. So if you're a collector, or if you want something to collect and look for, you can complete the whole set. There's your checklist. Checklists are great. So look in the video description below, and that'll give you that. Some say that some Wacky Plaks were short printed, means they didn't print a lot of them, or overprinted, or they did a lot of them. So the articles that I read, some are saying, you know, some of the postcards are kind of more rare than the other ones. Other versions of the Wacky Plak set were made. Example, Australian and England sets. I have read that maybe one Australian card was not in the US set. Mystery. So that's what's neat about collecting. You find all these little details about what someone else has found, then you go out and try to find that card. Which one is that? So there was an Australian card that was made in Australia on the Wacky Plaks, but it's not in the US set. Wacky Plaks were redone in 1965. That's why I said 1959, 1958 is your original Wacky Plaks. 1965, they were redone with a new numbering and called Kookie Plaks, K-O-O-K-I-E. And they also included 88 cards. So if you see them and they're Kookie Plaks, they're the newer ones. Not really new. I mean, I was born around 1965, and I'm an old man. So Kookie Plaks are the newer ones, Wacky Plaks are the older ones. That's how I think of it. And there's 88 cards each. Look for the Australian and look for the England. Let's get into the important thing, pricing. Sold high, sold low, list high, list low. It just gives you a well-rounded look at it on there. Now the sold highs, I didn't find a lot of single cards at real high. What I found is lots. I see these in lots. When I was doing the research for the video and myself, here's the lots. The first one is the 1959, 59, not 88. Topps Wacky Plaks, lot of 92 cards. Now that's interesting. There's 92 cards, but it says 59 Topps Wacky Plaks. Twice. 1959, 59. That title's a little cryptic. Maybe I'm not reading it right. But 90 cards, vintage funny postcards. So there's a whole set of them for $51 that sold 9 bids, and it was going to cost $12 to ship them. That's a lot for shipping on there. But $50 for 92 cards, less than $1 each. Next one is vintage 1959. They can take vintage out. They don't have a space there anyway. Topps Wacky Plaks card lot of 25. Funny postcards, good to very good. So subjective thing on the end, good to very good. I never use stuff like that. Some people do. Some people feel that they know what it is. They can grade them. Anything with opinion based, you know, stuff like that, I don't put mint or whatever. I just put it in a condition. This is what it is. And vintage and rare and extremely rare, stuff like that. Doesn't really help in my book. Put the things, the first 5 words of your title should be exactly what it is. Pretty much. Postcard or Wacky Plak postcard, you know, number 20. Stuff like that. You're not, people don't read this. They search on this. And then this, so 25 cards sold for $20.62, and it came from Canada, so a little bit higher shipping, but 1 bid on an auction. That's about $1, a little over, or a little bit under $1, say $1 a card, 90 cents a card, whatever. So the lots are, you can pick these up. If you want to collect them, you can find lots of these out there. So if you need 10 cards, you might be able to get them a lot, then resell the other ones. Now let's look at the sold low. I found individual cards or sets of 2 or 3 cards in a lot there. 2 lot, 1959, Wacky Plak, number 82, Nobody Tells Me What to Do, in number 54. Right there has the keywords, what people will look for on there. Kind of a long title, but it has the numbers. $1.75 for 2. Buy it now. You know, it didn't go for much. Next one is the lot of 3. It looks like it's the same thing. May look busy barking dogs. $1.99 for 3 cards. So far, I wouldn't be putting these in my safety deposit box. And the next one is all caps. We've talked about that before. Absent makes the heart thing. Plak number 13. Sharp corners, no crease, no stain. That goes in the condition statement, not in your title. And that's, you know, people want to know what they're looking for. If they want to know more about it, they'll go into your listing. That's not going to sell your cards. People don't search on stains. They don't search on sharp corners. They don't search on crease. That's in your condition statement. They search on postcard Wacky Plaks 1959 number 13. Then get them into your store, into your listing. Then you give them the condition, and then they decide if they want to buy. Then they decide how they're going to pay for it, and they wait for it to get their house. That's, I get picky sometimes about titles. Maybe I don't practice what I preach a lot, but those are not best practices in my book. Is people do not search on crease or stain. Titles are for search, in what I think. So now let's look at what these people are listing these things. So we just looked at them. Lots are selling for less than $1 a piece. The other ones are selling almost less than $1 a piece. And what do people think they got? Here's one right here. 1959. Topps 1959 Wacky Plak card number 61. I'm a self-made man. Postcard. Perfect title. I'd probably throw postcard up front. But perfect title. It's got everything that a search engine should be. If I was looking for Wacky Plak number 611 or 61, this would probably come up. Perfect. $13.95. Not perfect. Unless that's one of the rare ones. And $4.80 shipping. So that's going to be $17 to $20 card. And we just saw them there. This is going to be sitting for a while. Even though they're top rated plus seller, the market doesn't show that to me. But you can try. But there's no best offer on here. If they went high and stuff. There's all these little things you can do with your listing to see what the market is. Next one, 1959 Wacky Plak postcard, trading card, Jack Davis, art number 61. Way at the end is what people are looking for. Move that stuff up front. $8 or best offer, $4.70. Still a little high. 1959 Topps postcard, trading card. Confusion. Again, the number and stuff at the end. $6, $4 shipping. No reason to have these in $4 shipping. I think these might go eBay standard in. If not, for the price that they sell for, I'd stick them in a stamp and a label. But the average price, $6 to $13. And we just noticed what they're selling for. Where would you put it? Listed low. $1.99, $1.99, $2.95. All free shipping. And they're going up against the listed high, and if people are buying by price, you know, and these are they're abundant out there, so there's not a lot of money in these. So if you see them, it depends. Maybe there's a collector out there that wants number 15 and needs it, and there's hardly any 15s out there. So it's one of them you can play with, but it wouldn't stop me going through a box just to pick them out. I would probably pick them out just to have them, but nothing real amazing as I can see with the pricing with Wacky Plak postcards. But if you do see these, now you know. Now I know what they are. They kind of remind me of the Goofy series postcards that I'll be doing a video on. They come out with those things. There's 60 in that set on there. That's Wacky Plak postcards. If you see them, you get them really cheap. Pick them up. Maybe you can get a whole set and sell the set. I didn't see a whole set out there and what they go for. But who knows? Polls, community polls. In the channel is a community tab at the top. It's where I communicate with you guys, subscribers. It should go out to all of your subscribers when I put something out there. I think I put something out there the other day on feedbacks. Crocs did some kind of sale. They were with their sale, they screwed up and they sold a ton of stuff, and then they just canceled all the orders, and they got like over 7,000 negative feedback in a day or something. So that's out on the community tab. When I find links like that, I'll send out there. Somebody else did a video about it, Millennial Prophet or whatever his name was, but I thought I would share it to everybody when I see that. So if you're worried about one negative feedback, just think what they're doing with 7,000 they got to carry for a year. And that's that Crocs company with the shoes. But the poll I picked is, have you shipped the wrong postcard to a buyer? Yes. Yes, I have. I admit it. It was my fault, 100%. It was a ship card and I had they all look alike to me, and I pulled the wrong one. They were in the box together, and I put the wrong one in there. The guy was really nice. I went through and I sent him 3 of the same one, and I sent him 2 other ones and said thank you, and I refunded him just to reset myself. But he's bought a lot. I've made money off the gentleman. He's bought a lot of cards from me, and we've corresponded, and we still laugh about him getting a submarine instead of a boat. He asked me, one floats and one's under the water, and they look totally different. How did you do that? I said, I don't know. I just did. But when I put this out to you guys, 37% said yes, they've done it. You've been baptized in postcard world. And 59 said no. So those people are doing really well. They're real detailed. I like people like that. They're very passionate about it. But for us that kind of suck once in a while, at 37%. So I don't feel as bad. But for the 59%, good job. But when it does happen, you'll know you're not alone. And then I had some comments on this one too. Wendy said I had more problems with double printing a label, thus sending 2 to one buyer and none to another. I haven't done that one. Another one I used to do more is lose the envelope somewhere between home and the post office. I had a bunch fall out of my pocket in my truck one time. It was in wintertime, and I just shoved them in my pocket real quick, and I don't do that anymore. I put them right in the console when I go to if I'm going to the post office. But lose them between home and the post office. But sending double labels, that was funny, Wendy. Thank you for your comment. Now, see the lights. Not a postcard, but I shipped the wrong item to another buyer. Had to keep my mistake and send him the right one. Yeah, sometimes you just got to eat it. When you make a mistake, admit to it, get it fixed, move on. It costs a business. You're going to make mistakes on there. Can you foresee that? No, you never know what you're going to do until you do it. And they're mistakes. And now if you do it a lot, it could affect your bottom line. You don't want to do a lot, but things will happen. Everybody's done it. Everybody's going to do it. You know, some people walk around with that metal in their chest. I haven't done it. Then the next day, you know, karma comes in and it happens. Julie Flicker. So far, so good. Knock on wood. See, she's just waiting for it to happen. So, I don't have any wood right here, but yeah, I do right here. I haven't done it in a while. What gets me is the big orders. I double check, triple check, quadruple check, like the bigger 80 card orders or 60. I probably spend too much time doing that, but I just don't want to screw up a $250, $300 order. So I just, before I go out the door, it's quality check, controlled. Even the smaller ones anymore, I double check the pictures. I've caught myself being off a number or something, or thinking it's one or the other. So, caught myself a few times. Cat Diaz, I sell more than postcards. I have shipped the wrong item to a buyer before. Most resellers are going to do that. But I appreciate everybody commenting. We had over 63 people comment on the poll. And I think if you got any questions about the polls, let me know. I got them scheduled all the way up to December. Questions just pop in my head, and I'll put them in there and I'll schedule them. Hopefully I don't get too many duplicates. But if you got a question that's gnawing at you, send it to me. Even funny ones. You know, if you've done something, you want to see if someone else has done it, let me know. Or if you got a question, I'll put it out there. On there. I think I've gotten some I did not put up. If I haven't, please resend it. I maybe screwed up with the emails or whatever comments. With vacation and stuff that came up, I batched videos up and a whole bunch of stuff, so we were out of town for the month of June and stuff, away here and there, and had a new grandkid come in. So I got 4 grandkids now. Henry Casey is the new one, new boy, born 10 o'clock the other night on there. I haven't seen him yet, just seen videos of him. Comments, viewer comments. I appreciate everybody over the last year and a half putting comments in. And they've been very positive or helping others out, and that's what I'm looking for. I don't think I've removed anybody from the channel, or really, I've taken a few political things out or some scam ads and stuff like that, but everybody's been really good. I appreciate it. So managing the channel has been pretty easy with the people. But the first question I got was from Chad from Iowa. Somebody said I should have 2 eBay accounts, one for nice cards, the other for bargain cards. This way I would supposedly attract more buyers and followers. Have you heard of dealers doing this? I replied to Chad and said, no, I have not. People don't buy cards in separate stores. They don't shop stores, they shop cards. That's what I told them. So I've never heard that. Has anybody out there ever heard of this? Having said it. Now I do have a toy store and I have a postcard store. Because the toys and everything are a different clientele. The top rated seller status was different back then. Shipping was different on postcards, so I separated them on there. Plus, postcards went to an anchor store, and my toys are at a premium level store back then. So that's how I ended up with 2 stores. But I like it because I can just have postcards in one and toys in another. And I'll be moving the toys to a basic. I have to look and stuff in November when my thing come up, so I'll save a little bit more money there because I don't plan on getting any big hauls for toys again. That's why I was waiting to see if I really needed to do that. So in November I'm going to bring that down. And I also have a buyer's account. So when I go out and buy things, I don't buy it with SMPostcards or Shellmore Sales. I buy it with a different account. And the reason I do that is just to keep it separate and a little incognito on there. I don't want to bring SMPostcards buying all this other stuff out there. It's your seller accounts and your buyer's accounts is what the best practice I was told and what I found to use. So having one for nice cards and bargain cards, no, you can put categories in there in your stores. People look way too deep in this stuff. So in the algorithms trying to do all that, if they focus on just listing postcards and buying good stock, and they'll do fine. Don't worry about all that stuff. It's not, there's so many postcards out there. So the next one is from C to the Lights. C to the Lights, I see him on channels and stuff, and on here for a long time. He leaves a lot of comments and stuff, so I appreciate C to the Lights. Mostly buy it now. So this is to use buy it now or auctions. Poll, I think this is where this is from. So C to the Light sells postcards. He uses mostly buy it now, and I think it might be a bet. But if I think it might be a better card, I'll list it at an auction. Now I've seen him say this a few times in some other channels and chats or here, and he crosses his fingers and hope it does well. Most of my auctions don't sell, and I end up converting them to buy it now. I see that a lot. A lot of people do that. Others sell at the opening auction bid, so he puts it in there for a price he wants. But every once in a while they get bid up. So when you get 2 people going at it and want a card, I've seen those too, where they just hit the ceiling and go from expected. This week I sold one postcard for $60.99. A couple of months ago, one went for $105. So for me, it's worth it to try some at the auction and hope for the best. So he's been successful with that. I'm a buy it now, basically 99.999%. I tried auctions years ago, and it's just a lot to manage and stuff like that. I just list them and let them out there. They're on the shelf. Go get them. Auctions, you gotta wait and stuff like that. I just haven't done it. I like his model here, and I should do that more. I did that with Insane Asylums from Private Collection. Didn't sell anything. Didn't even get a bite. So like he said, you just hope for the best. But thanks to the Lights. But there's something to look at for anybody. So I see you're on Whatnot now. How's it going? It's not doing too bad. I've been on there about 6 auctions now. I've been on about a month and a half. I think I got it tied down to where I'm spending 3 to 4 hours per auction. Hour to prep, hour and a half to do it, about a half hour to ship. It basically destroyed my office for a week or 2 as I tried to set things up and get it organized. But with Whatnot, what I see is you got to have a lot of inventory, backstock, and supplies. I mean, to do one auction, I sell 375 to 400 postcards in one auction. You do that 10 times, that's 4,000 postcards. You know, there's 52 weeks in a year, and it's a lot of people do that. They go out there and do a lot of Whatnots, and then they run out of inventory, then they start putting their crap up, or they go out and overpay to get stuff thinking they have to do an auction. And it's just constant. Plus you're going to go through supplies and tape and stuff like that. So it is that you want to move inventory and you got the backstock, you can do it. Now I got tons of postcards here. I can probably go a couple years and not worry about inventory, but I want to make sure I got good stuff up there. So being kind of selective on some things. I don't want to put all flowers and birds up there just to auction off my throwaways or whatever, low value cards. I try to mix it up a little bit. And so far I made, on the first auction, I made more money on that first auction than I did with HIP all year. So that's one reason I'm leaving HIP. But check out Whatnot, description below. You get, if you sign up with my link, you get $10 credit. I get $10 credit. And I just go out and buy more postcards from other Whatnot people to support them. Last question. What do you think about eBay's 2% promoted listings change? I don't think much about it. eBay's going to be eBay. People get videos out of it. I see a lot of, every time something like this happens, I see everybody putting videos about it, and people watch them. But I've stopped promoting for a while ago. I used to promote like 1%, thinking I need to be just above the next guy because I didn't have the quantity. Collectibles in my quantity that I have now, I think that'll oversee the promoted listings. So I don't use it. It's a race to the top, race to the promoted bottom. I leave it up to the individual if they want to pay to play. I think it's a good thing when it came out, and it's another tool that you can use. But I'm for collectibles, I'm not using that. I'll run a sale, or I'll maybe put a coupon out or something. I use the volume discounts. It's the best thing for me that I found. So each person should find the tool that works for them. But I don't get up all on the hype about people changing prices and stuff. Like postage. If I have to pass it on to the buyer, everybody's going up. But eBay's going to make money. Off sellers, off buyers, whatever. So you can't control it. They're just going to do it. I don't really think much about all those changes. Just see how it affects me. I just roll the punches. So it's not going to change. eBay will be eBay, and HIP will be HIP. Whatnot will be Whatnot on their stuff. But with these Wacky Plak things, are comic postcards, humor postcards. They can kind of fall in there. But a lot of people ask me about the comic postcards. They'll say, hey, I got a lot of these comics. And I'll say, well, I don't think they sell well. But I got a video about comic and humor postcards. And the big question is, do they sell? I think people just go in and read them and move on. So check that video out, and I talk about the comic humor postcards. Thanks for watching. Good luck out there, and that's all I got for you.